that it should be accomplished the way they want it to be. Oh Father, we say many of us are on their way coming here. May they be here peacefully, and may we also live here peacefully. In the mighty name of Allah.
We have seen the video. I know we have individual contributions to put to this. Please, everyone must contribute. The feminist, we know the feminist. DJ, you go talk. You must contribute. Are you married? You're not married. And you have sisters around, you have friends around, so you contribute. You are part of the event. So this is the protocol. Once you take the mic, your name, your organization, or your community, and you do justice to this. 1 minute. Okay? Who is in?
You said something, Mr. Chinedu. I want to pinpoint something that women are so secretive. Why generalize it? It's true that, like you said, that maybe the nation has meant us to. I'm not inclusive, I'm not secretive. Maybe the nation has meant it so that women, because based on that, when that is it, what's the name of that lady we watched her was saying something. Yes, she was raped, and she didn't even go for abortion, go through the baby, now trying to see that the baby didn't go through the same stuff she went through, you understand? It's not really being secretive if I should go to that area. I have opportunity I run some programs, with the youths. Feminists FM is more of a community radio. We deal with the youth, we work with the students, we interact with them, we train them in the job, the media profession. So there was one guy, a student that came to me to promote his music, all these new upcoming acts, like they used to say. So along the line, we became friends, we were intimate somehow. So the guy was finally to open up on his life to me. And he told me something. He said, Auntie Amaka, can I believe that when he was former in UNN before he came to university, that he raped like 5 girls. And I was like, calm down. What are you trying to say? I was led to open up to you. I see like a counselor. They just get up, clean up, and go. He said, Auntie Amaka, yes. So I said, why? He said, I threatened them. That he was a cult guy then in UNN, that in front of the girls, he told them that if you do him, that the gods he was claiming to going through, so just strike you down. One is the one and stuff, like he told me. So that was what made the 5 girls to keep quiet. They kept quiet for all these years. Only out of the 5 girls, one got pregnant. And he said that the girl is around about 10 to 11 years. That was last year. You understand? So I was like, what kind of threat did you give those girls that they have to 5 of them? So I didn't know the funny thing. 2 of them that he took them to the altar, in church altar, then UNN, and raped them there. He was trying to mock God. God, I've raped these girls, do your worst. I'm telling you, a life is I'm not trying to make it up. You understand? So I was like, so beside the threats, what I was in where I felt like crying then. You understand? So I want to know about you talking about being secretive. What is pushing all these girls to be secretive? That is the main thing here. So they are threatening you with a God.
I term it number 1 is the family. Hello, someone? We are talking about what we have seen in the video. The woman raped came from somewhere. I believe probably the mother to the woman who gave birth to the other person was not raped. Shakira is her name. I believe probably her mom was not raped before she was given birth to. Now, if we have family where we live up to expectation, some of these things to some extent will reduce. When we are growing up, I grew in an environment, I lived with an uncle. And this my uncle is very, very strong man. Before you look at his face, let alone to say what happened. One is that if you report to him, I am very sure, I will bet you that the whole of those people's family, he will make sure he get everybody arrested. But fear will not let you do that. You that is living with him, fear will not let you do that. That environment is the environment whereby, children are meant to go and fetch water. It's not like these days where you see tap here and there. Yes, we had public tap, but we preferred to go to the stream. And we know that those are the areas where people get raped. But because of fear, no intimacy. Hello? Because if there is intimacy and something happened, I feel the girl child should be free to talk to the mom. This is what I passed through. There's a kind of relationship you create between you and your children. I bet you, both male and female, they will talk. No matter how
To help, to choose. She is free to feel pleasure, to use contraception, to access abortion safely, to decide. Free from pleasure. When others decide for her, she faces violence, forced marriage, oppression. She faces risk to her health, to her dignity, to her dreams, to her life. When she does not decide, she cannot create once a prosperous future to call her own. We standing together with her so she can make the decisions only she should make. Political leadership and social momentum are coming together like never before. But we can go further and we can do more. From today, we fight against the fear. We right the wrongs. We mobilize political and financial support. We work to make laws and politics just. We stand up for what is right. Together, we create a world that is better, stronger, safer, but only if and only when she decides. About the gag rule. GAG, the gag rule. We don't know about it. Let me leave it. There is a little good news coming about the gag rule. But let me leave it. Should I say? Okay. The gag rule is actually a rule. It's in the United States anyway. But United States, as we know, most of their policies influence us either directly or indirectly. And most of the sponsors are actually from there. So this gag rule is flexible. It's either you stand with it or you say you don't want. So the previous administration was against the gag rule. And what does the gag rule entail? It brings United States support for women program, for people with HIV, for people living with disability. You understand? This is the support. So the previous administration said, we don't want it. So the funds coming from here stopped. And we in Africa, we have a lot of maternal and child death. Thank God we are just coming up and it's going down. And our finances cannot foot it. We are having foreign donors that help us achieve much. So when this gag rule was reviewed, it affected a lot of activities. If you are into developmental work, you understand what I mean. For the past 4 years now, it has been dry. We are just trying to hook up. But the new administration coming in is actually bringing up that gag rule. And this gag rule is actually a plus. We are looking at it will be announced by 28th of this month. That is 5 days from today. We are looking at it being announced. So if you hear about this gag rule, I mean GAG, the rule, then know that is what we are talking about. You can browse it, the gag rule. So we know where we are. Thank you.
If you look at this, She Decides manifesto on the Google, the down part of it is asking us to sign up or something like that.
Okay.
Is there no need for you to talk more about it?
Oh, thank you.
I'm from another state. I'm from Oguno here. I don't know why you want to know where I'm from.
For purpose sake.
Okay. Anyway, I'm most privileged to be here. Fighting against the girl child. But because we left our tradition and we followed the
the Western world. So, it's not what that is obtainable there that is obtainable here. We have different worlds and we have different culture. If we can go with our culture, we will find it better. That's the truth. The Western people have understood their culture, so they go by their culture. When they go by their culture, that is when you see that so many things that we are suffering here against the women child, against the girl child, does not happen there as it happens here, because they understand their own culture. In African culture, the women are seen like an egg. And you know what happens to egg when it falls? If an egg should fall, the egg will break. So because of that, the traditional people or African culture see women as an egg. So you must guide a woman, a girl child, for her to grow in the perspective that the culture wants them to go. So in doing that, the women child are restricted from doing so many things. That's why they see the women child in diverse way, not the way they see a guy child. For instance, if your parents now, if a guy goes out and comes back by 10, they will just open door for the guy. He will come in. But when a woman does that, what will happen?
Problem now.
It's a problem. In fact, the community will start speaking evil against that girl. They will start saying so many things about the girl. In fact, at the end of the day, the girl might not even get married, because they will see her as a wayward girl. So, tradition we have here is different with the Western tradition. So, if we can abide with our tradition, it will be better for a girl child here. I'm not supporting.
As I was rightly introduced, my name is Hajia Khadijat Olahan, representing the Muslim community. In this very auspicious program, She Decides. Thank God I have a lot of female feminists here. We all are feminists, to be sincere. Even the world itself, it's so female friendly. And the Lord Almighty, the owner of everybody, right, gave women a lot of prestige, a lot of recognition. And with that, all we need to do is to build on where it starts from the beginning. Because I have a limited time, I'm going to discuss this topic on under four different subheadings. I'll be talking about education, talking about religious practice, female genital mutilation, and lastly, inheritance. To start from the first one, when you talk about education, in Islam, there's a tradition of the prophets. You know, Muslims, we have two major referencing points, the Quran and the Hadith. The Quran is the word of God that was revealed to the Holy Prophet, may Allah be pleased with him. And the Hadith, it's simply the practices of the Prophet. I hope you understand that. So when I say from the Quran, it means from the word of God. And I will believe that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the best example that we have as Muslims. So talking from the angle of the Quran itself, in terms of education, the Quran says when you educate a woman, you have educated a nation. That is what it said. When you empower a woman, you have empowered the entire nation. These have a lot of meanings. If she's equipped educationally, definitely you expect that she will pass this education down to her children. And we all know that the family is the single unit of the society. Once the family is okay, then definitely the society will be well built. So as a woman, she is entitled to education. And there's a verse, even the Holy Quran itself started with the verse that says, read in the name of your God. That's Ikra Bismi Rabbika Allazi Khalaqa. And it means that you don't give out what you don't have, right? So we are forced to learn. That's what Islam says. The first chapter that came out was that you should do what? Learn. And to support this chapter of the Holy Quran, the Prophet in his tradition says, we are expected to search for knowledge, even if it means you going to the land of China. Do you understand that? So it means, as a woman, there's no segregation to say, educate your male child or educate just the men alone, but educating everybody. But the emphasis is now made on more on the woman. That says, when you educate a woman, you have educated a nation. You have empowered a nation. So it goes on and on like that. Now the other aspect, religion. Religion gave a lot of recognition to women. There's nowhere in the Islamic tradition that a lady should just be, giving out to a man without getting her consent. Is one of the conditions of marriage in Islam. Even if it is an arranged marriage, or call it whatever, her consent must be sought. They must ask the woman, are you taking this man as your wife? As your husband? She either say yes or no. I hope you get that. To say that she decides at every moment, every point in her life. And so many other things like that. Because of time, he's showing me that my time is running out. As what? Weakness. No. Tender because she has a lot of things to swallow down. And if something is not...
The Bible goes on to tell that woman is a weaker vessel. Let's understand that God cannot be wrong. But even though she's weak, the Bible says we should love them. We should help them. We should support them. And I'm standing here saying that I have a wife, I have a daughter, and I stand to defend and encourage girl, child, or woman, whatever her right is trampled upon. Then, again, I want to say that as we are talking about a lot of things concerning the woman or the girl child, there's something the Bible says. It said, let us do good to all men. Do good to who? To all men. And that is what this program, is anchoring. To do good to all men, especially to the oppressed, or the people that are being discriminated or because of their weakness or their gender. So we have to do good, whether it is at home, in school, in the society, or anywhere. So, on that, we have to start, first of all, by training from our homes, schools, and churches. Begin to teach about love. Begin to teach about, being your brother's keeper. Begin to teach about helping one another, developing our society. One thing about life is, you fail when you begin to go back in the school of life. The school of life is all about you learn, you unlearn, and you relearn. There are things I know before that I have unlearned today because it's not right. There are things I didn't know today that I've learned, I relearned. So that's how life works. In those days, a lot of things was working against women. But today we are knowing better. We are knowing better. Something like, the issue of girl child does not have rights in the property of the father or the inheritance of the father. And the issue of somebody can just rape a woman and walk away with it. Those things are no longer, those things, it's no longer obtainable now because people are knowing better. So
harmful traditional practice, but based on health sectors. I'm going to start with a very short story, a story of a young girl, and it goes like this. There was a kingdom in a faraway country in the land of Africa. There lived a proud people of great cultural heritage, and female circumcision was one of them. So Owa, a beautiful young girl, became a victim of this practice. Owa was 10 years when her mother took her to an elderly woman who is specially designated for this task, who may also be a traditional health attendant in the community. Owa's mother knew what it feels like, but she couldn't save her daughter because of culture. Some of our mothers damaged us, like some of our mothers damaged their girls, because they too has been damaged by culture. Having to crawl about even at 6. I can still picture mom and dad trying to carry me to my seat, where I would stay put till school dismisses back then in primary school. As little as I was at the age of 7, I've already come to terms that I have to live with my life. I have to live my life depending on family and friends, even after a successful leg surgery. But in the midst of all these challenges, my parents saw the best in me, even as an only child for 14 years of their marriage. They refused to see my disability. Rather, they saw a different ability in me. They gave me their best by not just giving me the right education, but also giving me the love and strength I needed to fight for survival. It was never easy, I must confess. Sometimes I have to question God's purpose for my existence, while other times I feel like giving up. But when I remember the unwavering love of my parents, the unshaking belief in me, I just knew I just have to make them proud. But such is not the case of several persons living with disability, especially women. Many are being abandoned by their family. Throughout the world, women with disability are subjected to two-tier discrimination based on their gender and their disability. Although human rights abuses against women and girls are rampant, they are largely ignored. Justice system failed to accommodate disability, making it difficult for women to prove abuses of their human rights. Interestingly to say, Nigeria has signed the law of the discrimination against persons with disability on January 23, 2019. And in Anambra State have also signed the disability right law in December 18, 2018. This implies that it's very unlawful to discriminate persons living with disability in Anambra State. And I must say, Anambra State is the only state, I repeat, the only state in the Southeast to have signed such law. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come when we have to play a part in sensitizing the public on the need to start implementing the disability right law all over Nigeria. Let us decide now that women with disability must have access to justice. They must have access to external health care. They must have right to sexual and reproductive health care. They must have right to marry and form a family. They must have right to education and literacy. They must have right to adequate standard of living. Say no to workplace discrimination. To my fellow women with disability and persons living with disability, if I have decided to live with my disability and still survive and live a normal life, I charge you all, learn to accept your disability. Come to terms with your disability. Come to terms with yourself. Even if you are not able to walk, see, or hear, be your own advocate.
yes, be your own best advocate as you negotiate the challenges of life with disability at home. Be cheerful and always stand out. And don't forget that disability is a matter of perception by somebody in the world. Thank you so much. Yes.
Do something for us, especially women in disability. Huh? And also women too. So what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to talk about, you people as able human beings should also help us to get what we want. Governments, I was happy when I heard about what she said, what the president and the governor of Anambra State assigned for fiscal and people with disability. I'm happy. I'm one of you, just that I stopped coming when I was trying to get what will help me in life. I mean, Junapage. I've forgotten his name, but the person that introduced me to Junapage, he works in Women Development in Oka Center. He is a great person, and I really thank him so much for helping me. I don't know, you know what, the barrister, that he's blind. I've forgotten his name.
Former Pansec.
Yes, I've forgotten his name. He also helped me when I was pushing to get a job. But you know now, if they do indigenous, I have to thank Juliet for welcoming me in this great program. In fact, I wish to, take this program far by putting it in my Nigeria, so that people will recognize this feminism of a thing, Well, as for me, I think, as for me, I like people doing one or two things. Anything that you are doing, we ought to give you your rights. I support that. So, my dear friend, keep on doing good for us, and also keep on pushing this program far. May God help you as you are doing that.
So that means you don't even agree that okay, you agree that a man is equal to a woman. Like when our pastor was saying something, talking about that a woman was created from the rib of a man, right? So in the Bible, women are seen as the weaker sex or weaker vessel anyway. But being a feminist or being a feminist, it's just for you. We're just trying to fight for your rights. Give women equal rights in their workplace. In the you talk about the Catholics before, they don't allow women to mount the altar. Or let me use the altar, I'm a Pentecostal, or maybe going for communion like you said. But now, like you said, I don't know about that. I can't say what I'm not sure of. That the sisters are allowed to. You said so. Yes. You understand? So just that for me is just about giving women what belongs to them, their equal rights. Like I said, in the workplace. At times you will see maybe there's an election, like a university where I work is a university. Yesterday we had our deanship elections and every other thing. What I liked about election was that women were given, both men and women, as far as you are qualified, you are given equal rights. It's not about why can a woman be my HOD or team. That's what I like about UNICEF. I'm trying to say about that. So this thing is about feminism. It's just like allowing the women to get what they want, what belongs to them. Not talking about how can a woman be my GM. Imagine. You see, like Igbo said, some men will always say that way. You understand? Like workplace, like I talk about in the church because of time. I'm just trying to be faster. Like I'm a Pentecostal. I can't mention my church, but we don't have women pastors. This is what feminism is all about.
Okay, thank you very much. A quick one. Yeah. Do feminists hate men?
That is where we get it wrong. Feminists don't hate men. Someone like me, I'm into it. I am married with. In fact, I am married to the best man in this world. He supports me. I have kids. I don't hate my husband. I can't hate my brothers. I can't hate my colleagues in the office who are men. It's not about getting women equal. So feminists, they don't hate men, but we get it wrong here in Africa.
Thank you very much. I hope we have heard that for those of us that think feminists hate men and the rest of them. Now, I want to, ask. Yeah. In 1 minute, can you tell us a story that portrays feminism in Nigeria? Just 1 minute.
Just 1 minute,
1
okay.
minute.
As in general in Nigeria, am I going to come out? There are so many of them. I remember, maybe it may go beyond Nigeria. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, right? About what was this post she was trying to get from? You understand? I was disappointed that even men in Nigeria were like, we have other qualified men in Africa. Why will it be Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala? You know? Somebody was like, imagine now, so that if she gets it now, she will not be on top of us. She will not allow us to talk to say anything again in Nigeria, a woman. I was surprised. I was even surprised that even men here, even some of our persons in Nigeria were like, was after Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Imagine in Africa, because she was just a woman. Why would it be her? A woman, she should go and cook for the husband. Why would it be Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala? But to God be the glory, she got her the last. Just because of time, let me just. Do you want me to understand? I have lots of them, but because of time.
Yes, because of time, I hope we're following up. The story of Okonjo-Iweala is just a pure definition of what feminism is all about. A lot of people say feminism is a movement against the other gender. That's not right. Okay, so that's why I had to say you should do justice to this, so that we'll have that better understanding. Okay, let me move on to Acts. Well, I won't take everything because of time.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. Now, can you give us, is there any difference between feminism and women empowerment?
Thank you very much. There are two different things on their own. You understand? But it's a pity that at times even we women fight against ourselves in this aspect. Empowerment is just trying to help the women eradicate poverty. You understand? Or even help empower women, maybe in their different endeavors or something like that, you know. But feminism is just trying to let the women get what belongs to them, their own rights. Empowerment, there are two different things. It's just like empowerment, just like maybe now as a Amaka mother, I may want to empower maybe some women in my local government. I'm from Nnewi, you know. Just like go to the local government, get me 20 women, let me empower them, give them sewing machine. Okay, train them in maybe sewing, you know, tailoring, all those stuff. At the end of the training, I can give them maybe like sewing machines, like I said, things that will help them, you know, eradicate poverty entirely from their life. But feminism is another way of fighting for the rights of the women. Okay.
Please let's put our hands together. I think now empowerment is very, very different from feminism. Okay, like she has said, so we should tend to pen that. After this section, we'll be having 1 minute. You ask her a question, she's just going to answer. So please, let's pay attention. Now, let me move on to the next question, which affects my very self. Is it mandatory that only females are meant to be feminists? Yes.
But you answered it because you're even one of us and you're not even a woman.
Being a feminist, being a male and a feminist, some people see it as a taboo without justification. Like mommy just said on the part of the Islam that this thing is right. Anything you are getting outside this is wrong. So you just have to justify it if we are on the right path, because a whole lot of persons are just biased because they haven't gotten the right information. So
it's totally wrong. A man can always be a feminist. It doesn't make what it means that the man knows actually what, as in the right of man. Let me give an example because of time. And Unizik FM, my director is Professor Chinyere Okunna. You know her, the first female professor in mass communication in Africa. You understand? She's part of us. In fact, if you talk about that, I don't know, she's an expert in that. So she always said that the husband is a feminist. I was like, Mommy, why? Because now the husband cannot be to where she is today, according to her. That she started this issue of maybe professorship in mass comm when she was still a young girl. The other day in a meeting, she was like, she got married. In fact, she was away in school or service, and the husband had even gone to their place to pay her bride price. You know, the man survived. If you know about Chinyere Okunna, go and Google it now. You know, she's a professor in mass comm. You know that without the husband, according to her, she cannot be where she is today. You understand? Because the husband is a feminist, according to her. So it's not a taboo in Africa. Some kind of on left and right. You know, that is where women are biased, or sort of. That's where Africans are biased. Because it means that those men have seen that the woman has a right to protect. Let them give them, let them know, let them be free. Someone like me, I keep saying it. I am a very free human being. Even when I'm married, my husband doesn't disturb me. She's supposed to. In fact, he will even do everything to make sure that I want to do what I am, but I don't disrespect him. So it's not a taboo that a man can be a feminist. So Africans will misinterpret some things and see it. No, you can't marry but it's not right. Thank you.
You have heard it from the nurse's man.
She's a ruler, she will decide whom to be with, whom to marry. Feelings, it's for the arena, that's how you feel. She the rule, let's put the one, you put the man, you know, it's a well, my mother else, and what was about wine. She the rule, let's put the one, you put the man, it's a well, my mother else, and what was about wine. She the rule. Ọlọ́run kékeré adé olùkọ́ wa wá sí ayé ìfẹ́. See, nine more she gonna be, she gonna kiss whoever that she wanna kiss. Give a peace to decide what she wanna be. Yeah. Don't they make your woman dey fear? Don't they say about me? Make sure I know my name goes on. She carry belly, her body dey belly. She's you dey make you feel your belly. Her body dey sweat, her body dey say. She's a woman, take it easy. Of no woman, you never notice. She's a ruler. Man, she will decide whom to be with, whom to marry. She feelings, it's for the arena. That's how it is. She a ruler. Let's go on. My mother else, and what was in my mind. She a ruler. I hear it, I hear it,
In fact, I'm super excited being here today. It's an opportunity. I've not been in a seminar like this, although I love seminars. It was my friend here, SheDecidesNigeria, that invited me over. I learned a whole lot here. I heard of She Decides, that when she decides, the world is better, stronger, and safer. That is true. I love this. I love this. But based on the fact that we women, or even men rather, everybody will be meant to decide on his or her own, we will not fail to understand the fact that we really need to live beyond the will. You get me right? We really need to live beyond the will. That circle you find yourself, you really need to live beyond it. You don't really need to be near the circle that you find yourself. We really need to all exist beyond where we find ourselves. You fight for your rights before this other person comes. You fight for your rights before the government comes. I believe that we, knowing that fact, will be a stepping stone for us to meet up to our own decision as the human beings that we are. Let me say once again, I am so excited being here, and I thank the organizers of this program. I thank everybody that's around. It's a great privilege to be here today. I say thank you to all of us, and may God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Okay, this program, I decided to open mic. It's a storytelling program It's hosted by me as a 25 by 25 2020. So what I want to achieve is to create awareness, to make people to speak more to advocate more on gender equality, some harmful traditional practices that are not really helping women, to promote women empowerment, because when they are empowered, they have more rights, they have more input to their sexual and reproductive health and rights. So this is actually what we aim to achieve, and that's why I invited people cutting across so many sectors: the health, the government, the traditional sector, the Muslim community, the Christian community, and like even people living with disability. We're all here to speak up, to know what they want, to really speak out, because we are passing through a lot, but a lot of people don't want to say it. So that's why it is like a speak out or a storytelling program. Okay, the She Decides is actually supported by IPPF, International Planned Parenting Federation. So She Decides is actually a movement, not an NGO, but IPPF is those that support the activities. Nigerian government is doing a lot but not really of that. They created what we call the VAPP. That should actually promote women, but unfortunately most of the states in the southeastern part of Nigeria have not signed this VAPP. But I think God that my state and Anambra State have signed this VAPP. And this VAPP is helping women to express themselves, to see that they are not just there as a marriage commodity, as a participant said today, but they can actually add positively to the community. The government need to do a lot, especially collaborating with traditional and religious communities. These two communities actually they are the big influencers of most of our behaviors in the society. The government should, because even if the government should make some rule or should even put it into law and it's accepted, it's domiciled, but once the tradition is not reflecting the traditional aspect, it won't go a long way. It's true that we shouldn't push our culture away, but there are some things that we should see and say, I think this should be modified to suit people. Thanks so much.